Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and about a week or so ago I saw some videos on both Morgan's Maintenance channel and Project Pine Hills, and I'll link to those videos below, about these KESI Bit Sets, which are very similar to the Weehaw sets. And they had been sent some from the Kessie company, and I thought, well, that's interesting. How did I miss those? How did I not know about them? Because this is exactly the kind of stuff that I like to highlight on my channel. Anyway, I tracked down the company and contacted them, and they agreed to send me some of these. But I also thought, is there a chance that they contacted me in the past and I never responded? And of course that happens. But anyway, they did. I did an email search, and it was the 8th of April 2024. The Kessie company, and it's KESI, and I'll, that's what it looks like right there, or with this set of 4 symbols. But anyway, I thought, well, that's interesting. How come I didn't notice this? And so I went to my calendar, which is actually my photos, and I started scrolling back to see what was I doing. Was I even in the country at that time? And it turns out April 8th, 2024, when they sent the email to me, was the day of the big eclipse. And I was actually in the middle of nowhere, Texas, watching that. So that's why I missed it. And then I came back to a million emails and probably just didn't know what it was. But anyway, so I'm glad I finally got a hold of some of these. They're interesting. So let's talk about them. So first of all, there are various sets, and these somewhat mirror the Weehaw sets, but they're also a little different. And I can toss in this icon set as a comparable as well. The prices of these seem similar to the Weehaw. Country of origin. This is kind of interesting. Look at that. Proudly made in Taiwan. And I have started seeing that lately, where certain countries like Taiwan are, the companies that are making stuff there are proclaiming, yeah, that we're proud of the work that we're doing, and as they should be. That's kind of neat. So anyway, there are 3 different sets here, and then there is also this, and it comes with a handle as well, so we'll get into that. The bits, excellent steel. In fact, I'm going to show you this. They're kind of color-coded too. This is sort of a desert look. This one here is the 35-piece precision bit set. Comes with 1 aluminum driving handle, and you can see spins nicely. Now, I was curious about how the magnetic bit holding kind of compared to Weehaw, so let me grab one here. This is what I was doing just to sort of test it. I'll put this in. Now it's not even, there's less surface area on this side, but I put these 2 together and pull, and you can see it's obviously not ripping it out of there, and if I reverse it, same thing. So it looks like the Weehaw might have just a little bit stronger magnet. Certainly not a big deal because you're not tugging on the thing, but something I noticed. But I do like the feel of this. I like the size of this, and it is silky smooth, this little spinning end. Really quite nice. So what do we have? Here's the set of bits that are in this. You can see. So it's got pretty good coverage, plenty of the kinds of things that I need. Oddly, I'm not doing a whole lot of Apple stuff anymore. It's getting a little harder to work on, but some of the old ones I play around with, but there we go for those 5-point stars. So that's this set here. This one, we can take a closer look. What do we have here? This is a small ratchet. It actually has a great feel to it, push button. It is the reason I've got this one out. Very similar, a little shorter. Does have a spinning cap here, which is kind of interesting. Again, flexible head with a push button. Really nice feel on this thing. And unlike the pass-through, we're going to compare it then, I'll set that one out here, to this ratchet. Because it's a little bit more similar to that too. So kind of in between. It is a black oxide coating. It looks like it's got 1 spring clip in there, so it would allow you to lube it, and then it's got a locking mechanism. Now, this is what's kind of interesting. Let me grab a bigger one to show you. These are really low profile sockets, and I've done a little bit more with that. In fact, Tecton has come out with some really low profile sockets as well. I'll get to those. These little tiny Tecton ones and 3/8 drive. This is a quarter drive, obviously. But it's a nice set. Kind of looks like a 12-point or maybe a spline drive. And somebody had asked me about that. What's available in a 12-point? Because the video I did recently about the Olsas was a little bit different. So anyway, this might be an option for you. So there it is, a little tiny ratchet kit, solid little ratchet design. And then, oh, and I can show you if you want here's what's on the box. There's the sizes. It's 4 through 13, no skips, but also has a 4.5 and a 5.5 in there as well. You can see this kind of the star 12-point shape on those. And then there is this guy here, and this is one of my favorites because that's the bit driving version. Pop this out. So you can see, well, you may want all of these. You know, there's the socket one. This is the bit driving one, and it comes with an extension. Now, that extension is also important because this is the one that comes with the handle, and that handle actually requires something long, a 2-inch bit. You see how far in that went? If you drop a regular bit in there, you're going to have to dig it out somehow. So be a little careful, and it even warns you on this end, do not insert under 2-inch length bits. So that's a design choice. That's what they made. Comes with that little handle in this set. You can see here, or you can use it like this, or of course you can put that on this end, you know, to make a little bit longer handle. So we're seeing a lot of overlap, so you can choose kind of what you like. I love these little metal boxes, and that's what they are, especially in different colors than just Battleship Gray from Weehaw. And I do like the ratchet better than the Weehaw ratchet. This ratchet is really heavy. It's really tail heavy. It's very smooth, which, you know, is nice for cleaning, but not nice for trying to hold on to things. So there's that. Anyway, so you can see nice array of bits. This is, again, the proudly made in Taiwan. And there's the components. And here's what's in that one, should that be what you're looking for. These are available on Amazon. And again, very similar to the Weehaw. And the bits look actually like there's some potential. They may be better just in the look. They feel great. You can see if I grab this Weehaw bit and this Weehaw. So here I've got a Weehaw PH2 and a KESI PH2. Kind of see those. And the Weehaws are great. I mean, I have not had any trouble. Yeah, there we go for the PH2 and the Weehaw. Weehaw does make some less expensive sets too. So there can be a little bit of confusion that not all Weehaws are equal. But anyway, so there it is. Nice little potential EDC ratchet, or just a good working ratchet. And oddly, I have the Icon kits. I carry them in my car. And it's surprising how many times you need just something real simple to fix it. And usually it's not the car. It's something else. Something that I'm using, whether it's a piece of sports equipment or electronics equipment or fixing even some tools. So there is that one. Now this is the last one here. This is the 40-in-1. Now how do you get 40 out of that? Well, you see this? 40-in-1, but what is it? And this is what's kind of interesting here. You have got a set of metrics, a set of, I want to say ASE. ASE is actually the airport code for Aspen, Colorado, and in case you didn't notice, they closed the airport down for about a month for maintenance. But a little side note here for ASE flyers, the airport's going to close for from April to November next year, 2027. They're going to close it for a whole series of months for what they're calling runway relocation. And I don't know if you've been to Aspen, Colorado, but I don't know where they're going to put the runway. That'll be kind of interesting to see. But anyway, so what it is you've got multiple uses here. You've got a 6mm, a 1/4 millimeter, and an E8 Torx. Each one of these has essentially 4 possibilities. This just says strip bolt, millimeter, and SAE, so put it on and see what happens. But each one is marked, all 3, right here. So you've got your 14mm, you've got your 9/16, 14 9/16, and then this, it looks like it's painted on, is the E18. And I thought, that's kind of interesting, looking at that close. Kind of the shape there. Let me get a little bit brighter light here. What that thing actually looks like. Come on, focus. I got to back the light off. So it looks like there's some engineering going on in there. And if I grab the 10, that's the 10 right here. I was putting it on some different size nuts and bolts to see, and these are 10s here. And those actually fit quite nicely, no problem. And then I had a 3/8 bolt here. That's on nice and solid. So I think they nailed it. Whatever the geometry they're using inside this does seem to work. So there it is with the little simple kit. It also has an impact driver here, and this is really kind of cool because you can use it both to drive bits and to drive your sockets. So I've got both in there. Obviously choose one or the other, but there you go if you only want one piece. And then of course if I had my drive handle from my other set, I've got a solid little design going here. Or of course if I've got my bit ratchet, I could probably get away with using that, no problem. And if I want to add an extension on here, I've got what I'm working towards is a full-size mini ratchet. And of course I can get my cranking out of that because that does work really well. So anyway, there it is. I'm glad that that the KESI company was amenable to sending me some of their bit sets to try out. So far I'm impressed, and I can see why they'd say that they're proudly made in, oh, forgot to show you that, you've got a swivel here as well built into this. So this is kind of one-stop shop for an impact extension 3/8 drive coupler there. But anyway, I'm glad that they sent me these to try out. I'm impressed. Everything, every bit of the fit and finish and the boxes and the storage and the layout. The only thing I had to do was I taped these in just so I could see what was in there. Secured them to the top of the box, and I learned that with the Weehaw here because that one kept coming out. So I glued it in. But anyway, I'm glad also that Morgan's Maintenance and Project Pine Hills were able to go out in front so I could get a good handle on these. They go into a lot more detail if you want in, specifics and price and different arrangements, because you can buy these in sets too. I got one. This is the 77-piece fully armed set. You can also get this, I guess, in a like a plastic sealing box too. This one's got the 29-piece. Wherever that one went, here's the 29-piece. So this came in here, as well as a 13-piece and the 35-piece. So you can see the sets. They are not giving them away. They're not cheap bits. Sometimes I work with some of the less expensive bits. These are actually feel like professional quality for a small bit set. Anyway, I'll put links also to these on Amazon so you can look at them there. They've got quite a few offerings, the KESI company, so I hope to do more with them. Let me know your thoughts. And with that, Doc out.